this is somewhat of a divisive topic. There are some people that love comic book YouTubers, and then there are others that hate them. They hate comic book YouTubers. Though I don't think it is as black and white as that, I tend to lean on the latter, but it's not just because I make comic related content on YouTube. It's because I believe there are some problems with the industry, and I believe that content creators can help in resolving some of these issues. Overall, I think that comic YouTubers have an, overall positive effect, or can have an overall positive effect on the industry. I've been dropping videos on YouTube for like 12 to 13 years. I've gone through a series of reboots in the type of content that's put here on this channel. There was a lot of evolving, a lot of change in content, but over the last year or so, I started to house more gaming and comic book related material. So now I have a little bit of my political stuff mixed in with some of the gaming and a lot of the comic book stuff. I did this not only because I enjoy comics and have for much of my life, so this makes this fun, but because I thought there was a unique perspective that I could offer that could help really rid the industry of a lot of the bad while expanding on some of the good. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I'll at least have some fun and meet some cool people along the way. I would argue that in this day and age, if you cannot become an influencer yourself, you can't be an influencer, it does go a long way to support those that are, just as with any other platform, any other industry. The larger the platform that person really gets, the louder his or her voice gets, and the comic book companies hear them. Trust me on this. Now, the problem is there are sections of individuals that may preach the opposite of what it is that you believe, so this is personally what I saw, and I was like, wait a minute, I got to do something about this, because what I believe happened, for example, with the rise of this lazy social justice writing in comics and comic-based film, TV, is that those types became loud and obnoxious. They were ahead of the curve. It's almost like they infiltrated. So in order to combat that, I figured I'd create my own content that shuns what I hate about the industry and promotes what it is that I love. And I do that in my own unique way. So I guess with that being said, I don't think that the industry is in the best shape, but I don't think that it's completely doomed. I do think that a lot of these changes can be easily sort of implemented and corrected. It's just that the disease within it has to go, right? I think that we have social justice influencers that managed to get loud enough to hold positions in production in both DC and Marvel Comics TV film, right? This is important to understand, man, because Hollywood seems to have the same damn political views, top to bottom. So when they get a hold of these characters, of course they're gonna have some influence there. And then you get those that get on Twitter and YouTube, and you see these yes girl, work it girl, white knighters, and they encourage this prioritizing of things like diversity check boxes over good product. And they are very loud. And because they are loud, they are in positions of power, and they have really sort of muddied up the waters. While their views may not be representative of the general comic book fans, it appears that way due to these hype beasts. The trip is that when they lose money or they aren't making as much as anticipated, they start blaming other things. I'm going to be completely honest, bro. I do not think that many of these insiders are economically sound in this industry. I think that this industry would have collapsed had it not been for the live action films and TV that really keep it intriguing, but it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't have to be this way, in my honest opinion. I think there's a lot of people willing to spend money and be a part of this community, but the core fan bases aren't being marketed to. They are instead being insulted. And again, I don't think that Marvel and DC, or the Marvel and the DCs of the world, are doing this like on purpose. They just have loud people they see or they're in their ear, and they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And that's where I come in, because I simply want to be a part of the change that I'd like to see. But I think the overall effect of comic YouTubers can be a good thing. There's a lot of people that got others excited about comics again. We have some cool conversations in the comments. We have some great debates and arguments about the material and what could possibly happen. Now we can fill people in on what's going on in some of the current runs and incentivize people to get into it, which is why it's not just those social justice types that I take issue with. That's just an obvious one. Continuity can often be confusing for some of these more notable characters with all of these different Earths, timelines, and so forth. I feel that this intimidates possible fans. And there's a list of things that I take issue with, man. It's a long list of things that I take issue with. But that's why I try to highlight what I feel is wrong and then spotlight the things that I think are right. So all in all, I think comic commentators with followings have a lot more power than you may think, and because of this, I think that they are valuable in the battle of trying to salvage this industry that we love, we know, and we are a part of.